Assalamualaikum. This is Raja Umar on my channel RU Speaks. Raja Umar speaks for you all, and today we're going to talk about the global perspectives written examination. Paper and component one. And if we go to the question number one, first of all, I'm going to tell you people the overall pattern of the paper. And if I explain you people that here you can see that there are 4 questions in your global perspectives full paper, and most of the time what we see that the question 1 is related to the sources 1 and 2. At times they may ask you that this question is related to sources 1, 2 and 3. So but most of the time it is of 1 and 2. So as you know that this particular paper has a insert as well, and here is the insert of this one, and in this particular insert you'll find 4 sources given, and as you see that here we have the source number 1 and over here, and then source number 2, a table showing the causes and the consequences of e-commerce on employment. Here we have source number 3, a paragraph, a sort of extract on that particular topic, and here we have source number 4 that contains a debate, or you can say the perspectives of 2 different people on that topic. So as I told you that there are 22 topics of your global perspectives whole of the syllabus, and out of this syllabus the paper may come on any of these topics, right? So I'm going to show you again those 22 topics, and here are they. You can see that these are the topics on which you may be able to get the whole of the question paper. So as I was explaining the other day when I was talking about the individual report, so here you can see that these are the topics, and whole of the paper may come on any one of the topics over here. So there are 22 in all. So it means that it doesn't mean that you must be knowing each and everything regarding any of the topics, but you must know the marking scheme, that how to attempt any particular question. So if I talk about this sample question paper we are on, said that this paper is related to the topic that is the jobs, and they are related to the employment. If I go to the topic over here, we have this particular topic given over here, that is employment. So it means that the sample paper I am showing you here, that is related to that topic. Now again, question number 1, first of all, as I tell you that this question number 1 is related to sources 1 to 2, or it can be from 1 to 3. And this question has 4 parts, A, B, C and D. Here you can see that here is A, here you have B, and over here C part, and on the next page you will find out the D part over here. And collectively the marks for whole of this particular question number 1 is 1 plus 1 2, 2 and 2 4, and 4 and 6 10, and 10 and 8 18. Question number 1 is of 18 marks in all of all those 4 parts, A, B, C and D, and B part has sub parts 1 and 2 as well. So A part has 1 mark over here, B1 has 1, and B2 has 2 marks over here, and C is having 6 marks, and D is of 8 marks. So question number 1 is of 18 marks, and in this particular video we'll talk about question number 1 only, and in the next lesson we'll talk about question number 2 and then 3 and 4. So whole of this paper is of 4 marks, 4 questions. Here is question number 2. Question number 2 is particularly related to source 3 of this insert. So it means that question number 2 is related to this particular source, source number 3, and it has 2 parts. 2a, it is related to strengths and weaknesses of the argument. And which argument? Talking about this whole of the argument. So it means that we are supposed to analyze whole of this argument, that how strong this argument is and what are the weaknesses of this particular argument. And question number 2b we have over here. So in this particular question we are given with a claim. As we can see over here, jobs are being lost in the digital era. So it is said that how we can test this claim, how this claim can be tested due to certain methods. So we'll talk about information over here, that what sort of information we can gather to test the claim, and what kind of evidences we can present to test this claim, and what sort of methods we can use to test this claim. So this is question number 2b, and it is related to, most of the time we call it the question that is of test the claim. So question number 2b is known as test the claim question. Right, so we'll discuss it afterwards. Just I'm going to tell you people the whole of the paper pattern first. Question number 3. Question number 3 is related to source 4 of the insert, the debate between the two people. As you can see that here in this particular question there is a debate of two persons, Sarah and Jamil, over here on this particular issue of employment. So we will find out that whose argument is more convincing. So over here, so whose argument is more convincing, Sarah's or Jamil's? And we will analyze both the arguments on these 3 lines. That consider both arguments. I mean, we are supposed to explain both Sarah's argument and Jamil's argument, and evaluate the reasoning, evidence, use of language. We will analyze, evaluate that who has used good reasoning in the argument and who has given the better evidences over there in that argument, and what was the tone of the language of that particular argument, and support your judgment with their own words and ideas. It means that we are supposed to refer to the sources in the form of some quotations from the arguments of those people. So we will explain whole of this one over here. So this was question number 3. Now if we talk about question number 4 now, so question number 4 is related to the all 4 sources. In this particular question we will use all 4 sources. It means that we will talk about the all 4 sources, source 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. We will refer to all these 4 sources to attempt this particular question, and the pattern of the question is that it gives you certain government actions or government plans to take certain steps regarding that particular topic. So these are the 3 actions government wants to take: providing internet access to start online businesses, open technical digital training centers to enhance e-commerce, creating other job opportunities for the unemployed people due to e-commerce. So which one of these actions would you recommend to the government and why? It means that we are supposed to justify it. We are supposed to give the reasons that why we are picking it up. And in your answer, we are supposed to state that recommendation right in the first sentence, give reasons and evidence to support your choice, and use the material in the sources and or any other of your ideas. So consider different arguments and perspectives. We can talk about the positives and negatives as well. So it means that this is how we call the different arguments and perspectives. So if something is happening really good for the people, what are the negatives out of it? So we can also explain those ones as well. So when we will be on question number 4 in our fourth lesson, we'll talk about this one. So coming back to the question number 1. So here we have question number 1. As I told you that question number 1 is of 4 parts, A, B, C and D. And let me erase the things over here. Now, question number 1A, according to source 1, so it means that 1A is related to source 1. As per ILO, I mean International Labour Organization data, how many retail jobs were lost in 2020? So we'll go to the source and we'll find out that what the source says. According to the report by International Labour Organization, over 1.5 million retail jobs were lost globally in 2020 due to store closures because of COVID. So it means that very simple. If students, they write only 1.5 million jobs, or they write as per the report of ILO, over 1.5 million jobs were lost during 2020. I mean, if they write whole of the paragraph, whole of the sentence, or they just simply write 1.5 million, in both cases, the answer would be considered correct, and they will write over here, for example, 1.5 million jobs in lost in 2020. That's it. So it means that the answer is correct, and sorry, I have written on the wrong place. It was in the on the upper line 1A. So over here 1.5 million jobs. Still this is correct answer, and even if they write the whole of the sentence, still correct. So this 1 mark will be awarded. Then identify one consequence of which can be declared as generalization from source 2. So now we'll go to the source 2 over here, and these are the consequences of e-commerce, and students will be able to find out that which one is generalization. I say that when I was giving this particular question to my students regarding practice, they were saying that workers' exploitation is considered as the generalization, as it says that there at the job places there are the exploitations regarding workers, but not everywhere. So it means that this particular statement is a generalized statement. And if I go to the marking scheme, what does it say? Going to the, here we have this particular question 1B. I am talking about that identify one consequence of which can be declared as generalization. The same question. Job losses in traditional retail, skills gap, economic inequality, or even the worker exploitation, all can be considered as the generalizations, because I mean if you write any one of these, you will be awarded with 1 mark. So it means that if students write any one of the consequences of the job loss, I mean the employment due to e-commerce, they can have 1 mark. And but in the second part of the question, they are supposed to identify they are supposed to give justification that why this particular word or the phrase or the sentence they have picked as generalization is considered as generalization. So one thing I say, that if I say that over here in Pakistan everybody is struggling financially, I'm going to give you one statement. If I say everybody is struggling financially, this is a generalized statement and it may not be correct for all. Few might be really very much stable financially and they might not be struggling. So it means that I have given a generalized statement which is I am applying to all, but it is not applicable to all. So this is what is meant by generalized statement. So students will justify that why their choice is a generalized statement. For example, job loss in traditional retail, students will explain this is general statement about a widespread trend, but it does not specify particular companies, location or individuals. So it means, as I said, if I said that everyone is struggling financially, everyone is not struggling. Whoever is struggling, I should be saying that those who are earning less than 20,000 rupees or less than 30,000 rupees a month, they are struggling. Then I am giving a specific statement. But if I am just saying that everyone is struggling financially, it means that I am giving a generalized statement, right? So skills gap, this term generalizes the disparity between the skill workers have and the skill employers need across various industries without identifying specific context. So it means that skills gap how? I mean, this is the generalized statement. What sort of skill gap is there? Whether in some technological field or in digital field or in the financial field, or in what case? What sort of gap is there? So it means that we are not specifying it. So that's why we consider that this is the generalized statement. Then economic inequality. This is a generalized concept describing disparities in income, wealth, or opportunities across different groups of people without focusing on particular regions or individuals. Again, generalization is there whenever we say that there is economic equality around the globe. Inequality around the globe. There can be economic equality in different parts of the world, very especially in Europe and in very many of the Western world. There can be the economic equality. But if we say that there is the economic inequality around the globe, this is the generalized statement, right? So students are supposed to justify that how some statement is considered as generalized statement. So they will write over here that how this statement can be considered as a generalized statement. Now, C. From source 2, describe the unemployment perspective due to online retailing. Most of the time, the students and even the teachers, they get confused about this particular question, that what is meant by this perspective. So we are supposed to take the keywords of this question. There are two keywords over here, for example, in this particular question, unemployment and online retailing. What is the impact of online retailing on the employment trends? This is what we are supposed to explain in two well-developed points over here. Two well-developed points. I mean, well-explained reasons. Well-explained reasons, and we can give the source reference as well. That is must in global perspectives every question, that if we are responding to any of the questions, we are supposed to refer to that question. I mean, as source 2 says that, we can use these words. Source 2 says that. For the sake of our explanation, we are supposed to use this particular phrase, and we are supposed to refer to that source to explain our answer. So if you write two well-developed points, I mean well-explained reasons over here with the help of some source reference, you can be awarded with 6 marks in this particular question. So this is about part C, and now the last part of question number 1, that is related to sources 1 and 2 suggest the consequences of unemployment due to e-commerce. Again, if we go to these two sources, the question refers to source 1 and source 2. If we read out, we see that these two have the certain consequences given over here of online or business or online trading or e-commerce. So the COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the global shift to e-commerce as lockdowns forced consumers to shop online. While this transition benefited online retailers, it devastated traditional brick and mortar stores. I mean the physical stores or the shops over there, they suffered a lot, leading to widespread unemployment. So the consequences given over here, and number 1 was this one, the devastation of the physical stores. Number 2, unemployment. And according to the report published by, and this is another one, that many people lost their jobs because of the um, online or retail online stores. So here are certain other consequences of online or e-commerce given. So we are supposed to explain in this particular question that which one of these consequences are most significant and why. So which consequence, I mean we are supposed to pick one of those consequences of e-commerce on employment due to what do you think is the most significant and why. And in this particular question, as I told you, that this question is of 8 marks, and we are supposed to explain two really well developed points, two well developed points, I mean well explained reasons, and secondly we are supposed to give the source reference, and in the end we are supposed to give the evaluation, I mean the conclusion, as we give level 5 in our history paper. So this is how you are supposed to explain. I'm going to the marking scheme of this particular question, and here we have the marking scheme of this question. That was the question 1C, I mean the perspective of unemployment towards the retail jobs, retail buying and selling. So one C, candidates may identify one of the followings and they will explain them in 2 reasons, and then they will be able to attain. We are here for 6 marks, and candidates may move on to candidates may describe the following elements of the perspective issue. Unemployment is increasing worldwide due to e-commerce. Causes: pandemic, COVID-19 and rise in the digital technology. Consequences: global unemployment rate has gone quite high as retailers have shifted to e-commerce. This has greatly affected economic inequality around the globe. And then values: we should raise voice for the ones who got unemployed due to e-commerce. The right of employment should be given to everyone. So that is the value. Action: the government should put forward the issue in front of the ILO, International Labour Organization, to make a mechanism to minimize the negative consequences of e-commerce, or any other relevant responses. So students are supposed to explain these ones in question 1C, or they can, if they explain really two really very good paragraphs, they can attain 6 marks. Clearly analyze of the sources, describe a wide range of the elements of the perspective, frequent use of the relevant material and examples taken from the source. This is what I have said, that this is known as the source reference. That is must for this question. Then if they only write this particular point, they will be given 5 marks, and if they give the source reference, the second bullet point, they will be given the 6 marks. So it means that source reference is must to attain the 6 marks. And now 1D, if we talk about the marking scheme, as it is of 8 marks questions, so it means that we are supposed to reach out level 4, clear justification of an opinion, that which consequence is the most significant and why. The opinion is clearly explained and supported, and the explanation is credible and clearly related to the identified issues. I mean the unemployment. So if it is done, it means that 8 marks can be awarded. But if some justification of an opinion, not the full one, the opinion is explained with some support, the explanation is mainly credible and related to the identified issue. Over here we can see that mainly, and here we have clearly related. So it means that this is doubtful, that not much mainly credible, or here clearly credible. So it means that this is the difference between level 3 and level 4. Partial justification. So here are the words which are really very important. And if a limited opinion is given, so it means that student can gain only 2 marks out of 8. If partial justification of an opinion is given, students can get maximum 4 marks out of 8. If some justification of opinion is given, students can get 6 marks. And if clear justification of opinion is given with clearly related to the identified issues and source reference is given, then student will be able to attain 8 marks. So this is how the students will respond. So candidates may identify one of the following causes: job losses in traditional retail, skill gap, concentration of wealth and power, workers' exploitation, and economic inequality. They can take one out of them, as it says that which consequence is most significant and why. So it means that they will pick only one, and they will take any one of these, and they will explain like this, that they will explain that particular consequence of level 4, keeping in view this, to attain 8 marks in this particular question. So this is how they will attempt question number 1D. Candidate may give the following reasons to justify their opinion has greater impact. I mean, why something is really very significant, having greatest impact, affects the most people, socially or economically most important, has multiple negative consequences, creates a vicious circle, affects other aspects of life of different groups in society, reflects expert opinion, is the most difficult to solve, and any other. So students will explain the significance of that consequence with the help of these keywords. So in this way they will be able to attain those 8 marks. So this is how the students will be able to attempt question number 1. So this is the marking scheme of question number 1, and this is how they will be able to have this question done. So this was our lesson for today. Inshallah, in the next lesson we'll talk about question number 2, and I will explain in the same way the marking scheme of question number 2 as per the latest pattern of 2025 syllabus, in which the students are going to appear for their exams in the first week of May. And this will be really very much helpful for all those students who are in their grade 9th and they are supposed to appear for their global perspectives paper. next year. So up till now, this is over, and do not forget to subscribe my channel RU Speaks, I mean Raja Omar Speaks. So you will find out really very much informative and very much educational videos over here on my channel for your studies regarding your global perspectives. Thank you so much.